Malumbi.
Here.
Osterloo. Larson.
Here.
Penny. Sonny. Here. Jersa. Here. Genslinger. Allen. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Any declaration of conflict of interest on the proposed agenda that has been provided to us? Hearing none, let's go on to the agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve it as presented? Second. Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the March 8th meeting were included in the packet. Any additions or corrections?
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next meeting should be scheduled for April 12th. Yep. Do I hear a motion to approve the blanket?
So moved.
Moved and seconded that the blanket for the 12th of April be approved. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. First item on the agenda is a plan approval for Dale's A1 transmission at 1100 South Burr Street, Highway-Oriented Business District.
Okay, what you have before you on page 5 is a rendering of where the building, or what the building is going to look like. My understanding is going to be metal construction, cold storage, no bathroom or anything like that. And then on the page 6, you can kind of see a site plan of where this is going to be in respect to where the building is now. The orange or tan or whatever color you want to call that is the existing building. So this will building be facing, well, let's see, kind of north would be this way. So,
Mr. Long,
Mr.
you want to
Long,
talk to us?
If you've got questions of him.
Tell us of what you're planning there.
Just cold storage. We're going to have 2 roll-up doors in it. It's going to be a Balin metal building, so it'll match our other building.
Okay.
And the excess rainwater will go to the south. There's like an emergency drain there in between our buildings right now. We'll just duct it into there as long as that's okay.
And you're not taking any green space. It's all previously paved, et cetera, et cetera. So
gravel back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any questions for Mr. Long? Hearing none?
I got one.
Okay.
The proximity to the property line against that next building at the south, that
Yeah, Jerry Thompson owns it.
how close are you to that?
Oh, I don't know, 15, 20 feet.
Will you that far away?
Yep.
And then there probably would not be a requirement for fire going in that exterior wall facing that building. In the picture, I didn't just say something. It's usually going to be 10 feet or greater, just not fire rating in that exterior wall.
Okay.
So it's
Definitely more than 10. With our current building. Yep.
Anybody else got any questions or comments?
As part of the building permit process, we are going to request a legal survey, just so we can verify the property lines and everything where the building's going to go. And we're also going to review the placement of their current sign. So we think it possibly might be in the right-of-way on Ivy, and if so, we're just going to put together a waiver for all parties to sign.
How about the other 7, 8 property owners?
We need to do some reviewing on that corridor as far as how everything relates. It's just when something comes forward, we review it, and then we try to clean it up.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
You may recall, with the DOT's project, a lot of the stuff is now, as they've recorded many of their plats, and so that's kind of how taken care of some of this. Right, but it's still, some of them may need to be addressed at some point, but now that that project's kind of completed.
But
Yeah, that's-
just so everyone's clear, I was told where I could put the building, I was told where I could put the sign,
And it's,
along
it's,
with the other 6 or 7 people that have issues.
yep, it's my understanding that it was put up before the code was in place. So now just to clean up these, we get a waiver, Justin will prepare it. And I believe we've done it other places in town as well.
Okay, no problem.
Yep. Yeah, that's, when somebody comes in and like DOT and changes things, that really,
Right.
really can cause some heartache down the road. Yes, sir.
Just a question, the cold storage is for Dale's A1, right?
Yep. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Long. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded that the variance be approved, that the plan be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Ryan Kirkpatrick at 823 East 5th Avenue has applied for a side yard and on a corner variance of 11 feet versus 30, required to, 11 feet versus 20, required to construct a new home at 823 East 5th Avenue, legally described as Lot 1, Block 11, FM Green Addition, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. The property is owned our single-family residential district. Have we got a picture?
Yeah, you have a picture, well, it's a hand drawing on page 8. I don't know if the copy comes out. It might look better on the screen. But basically what it's doing is somewhat similar to what was already there. The picture that you see there that on the aerial is that house with the, you may recall that recently there was a fire there. That house has been gone. So the owner of that property would like to put the house about, so there you see it's about 11 feet from the property line. And this is a corner lot, so it requires 20, and so, you know, you're already eating up 23 feet just because of the setbacks, because you got 3 feet on the other side. And so that's what the owner is requesting. So I don't know if Mr. Kirkpatrick is here, or... but there was no neighborhood objection.
The home was already in somewhat not quite in that violation already with that. If you were trying to adhere to days, but when it was built, I don't think there was more. That house was built inside.
I would venture to guess that that may have been built before the 50s.
At least the one I left in our file was the 50s. He said the Carstensen County took it back for everything.
Yeah.
I did not see that time.
Yeah. Any questions by anybody here? I mean, 50-foot lots are pretty tough to build anything on a corner.
Like Neil said, you got 23 feet, and really the setbacks from overhang is not like you're talking a house that's 20 feet wide.
Yeah. Pretty tough. Anybody got any comments from city folks? You guys going to have any heart attack over this thing?
If you look at his drawing on the on page 8, you'd see that garage that he's mentioning is going to be removed. The one that's closer to the alley south there. Yeah.
If you look at the house directly across the street, that's even closer than the one that where the white roof is burned down. The house directly to the right of this picture, that's a lot closer to the property line. That's probably about 9, 11 feet right there.
Yeah.
On those corners.
But it isn't going to affect the site triangle or anything like that, so I would think we're going to be good to
He's
go.
25 feet back from the front.
Yeah. Do I hear a motion to allow? Moved and seconded that we allow this variance. Further discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Carried. Number 9, conditional use permit, Nancy Getty at 1511 Pebble Beach Road has applied for a conditional use permit to operate a family residential child care center in her home at 1511 Pebble Beach Road, legally described as Lot 6, Block 5, Lakeview, First Edition. City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. The property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential District.
You can see where this property is located. There's a mark on there. 2 neighbors that did take the time to respond were in the affirmative. She apparently had run a daycare at a different address, and then she kind of went on hiatus for a while and then bought this house and now wants to restart it. So she's an experienced daycare provider. I don't know if the fire department has inspected the property. I know she has contacted them, but so she was aware of that. So they may have already done it, or they will have it scheduled between now and council. So.
Okay, she's going to have to follow.
Yeah, the normal. I'll maybe for Jacob's.
Yep.
With the normal conditions that we put on home daycares is one, it's not transferable. In other words, if she moves, somebody can't just automatically assume it, or she has to apply at the new address. One is if she stops for a period of 6 months or longer, then she has to reapply. And then 2, has to pass a fire inspection by the fire marshal. But
Has she talked to the fire folks yet?
oh, Shannon is here.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Yes, she has. I was there about a month ago, and everything was okay. Don't see her here today. But, yeah, she was subject to our code enforcement, so she'll have kids, entry level, nothing above or below grade, smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, so on and so forth. So
she's good to go.
Yep.
Okay, further discussion? If not, we're ready for a motion.
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded that the conditional use permit be approved. Discussion on the motion.
With the 2 conditions, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Hearing no further discussion, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion is carried. Next item, a plat of Lot 1, Block 5A, a subdivision of Block 4 of the Westwood First Edition in the northwest quarter of Section 16 P 10360, west of the 5th parallel Meridian, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota.
Okay, the plat is on page 18. You can kind of see the rendering. It's one large lot, and then it's also the plat is also extending parts of the right-of-way to line up with the new lot. So, and then it does get a little confusing as you kind of have to figure out which way is north on this. But you can kind of see the aerial. That might help a little bit. So you can kind of see 20th would be the south one, and 21st would be the north one. And then Quail is the street that goes north and south, and then Pheasant I've identified. I can't read that. The blues, I believe, is where I labeled there. So if this kind of helps get your bearing straight. I see Chuck Jr. is here as well, assuming you're part of it. And Mr. Jensen's here as well. So.
Anybody want to talk to us about this a little further?
My name is Jeremy Jensen. We're purchasing the property. What we're looking at doing is putting up a 10-unit townhome. What we're calling is luxury townhomes. They're just going to be for rent, essentially. So we'll have 10 tenants in there. Pretty much the same type of design we've been doing. By the aerial there, we've got, I think, just a handful of lots left. For what it's worth, when we're building the townhomes out in that area, everything on 20th Street we've been selling directly, so you can purchase half of a twin home Everything on 21st, we're trying to keep that as our rental units. We've got some rentals on that side now, and then with this new 10-unit building, that'll all be rentals as well. And then we've got another rental across the street that we don't own, but that's what we're looking at with that property.
And that will be in the city limits, or it is already? Anybody got any other questions from the city folks? You've been working with them?
Jeremy was in last week, and we did a little bit of a preliminary review on it. There is he also is aware that there'll be a fire separation and for more than 5 units for the state fire code. Then I did get an elevation certificate about 20 minutes before coming to meeting here from my, I was just for the fourth, I got one. I believe. The one out.
Yeah, we received the elevation data.
Okay,
We will to our fire code each individual unit. We're gonna do each of them just in,
They wouldn't have to, but that's over and above them because of everyone.
yeah, we're gonna do everyone just in case something would sell off in 10, 20 years, whatever. We'd be able to sell them off as condos. So we'll overbuild them initially.
all right, it looks like everything on the plat is gonna line up with future stuff. Any questions?
I don't have anything unless you have questions.
Okay, I don't think we have any questions on the plat. It looks right, at least I don't think we do. Anybody else? Let's have a motion then. Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. A next item on the agenda is a plat of Tract 1 of Carstensen addition, an addition in the northwest quarter of Section 2, Township 103 North, Range 61 West of the 5th parallel meridian, Davidson County, South Dakota.
Okay,
What's going on here?
this is it's outside our 1 mile jurisdiction, but it's within 3 miles, so that the city has, to recognize them as well. But it is subject to county ordinances, so, there is a plat, the renderings on pages 22 and then 23. I tried to do a smaller aerial just so that you can kind of get your bearing straight of, so you can kind of, let's see. I know it's a little hard to tell because you got to zoom out, but there's a TR Track 1 way on the corner, on your left-hand corner, right where there's red dot there, so you can kind of see, towards the bottom. Whoops. Go south. There we go. And so I put part of the lake in so that you can kind of see where this is in vicinity of the lake. So it's close to town, but not. So you can kind of see where the creek kind of wraps around there. Just so that you can see that where it is. I don't know if Mark has a comment from the county's perspective, or
Mark Angus, Davidson County Planning and Zoning. It's over 25 acres, so it won't require a variance. They'll be putting a residence on there. Access will be 750 feet off of the quarter line to the south. Rusty doesn't have any issues with it for ingress and egress off of that. They're moving up here from Arizona. They actually are part owners now, I believe, in Boyd's Gun Stock, so that's the reason for the whole property. And it is from her parents or something that they're buying it, so it's within third of kin if there would have been a variance, but it's over 25 acres.
Okay,
We'll hear it the 6th and the 13th.
all right. Thanks, Mark. Any questions or any discussion? Hearing none, we're ready for a motion.
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Any other business to come before this body at this time? Hearing none, We are ready for any public input that you may have. If you need to address the City Planning Commission on an item that was not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium and state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. And I have my telephone timer along. Keep track of 3 minutes. I see no one coming to the podium. Therefore, we are adjourned. Yep. I do. Have to. I gotta take my new Equinox into Chevrolet on the